Hey guys, Sean here. So I just got done watching Fant4stic. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're all gonna say. It's really called Fantastic Four. Well, you know what I say? You know what I say to that? All the marketing, the press, the promotions, and everything all says Fant4stic. So I'm gonna call it Fant4stic, and also so I can extinguish it from the original films. So what do I think of this movie? Oh god. Let me start out with the background of this film. After the disappointing box office of Rise of the Silver Surfer back in 2007, Fox Studios canceled the third movie to the original series and the planned Silver Surfer spinoff. After seeing Fant4stic, I kind of wish they would have continued those plans. But anyway, so they went right to work starting up a reboot. And when news started coming out of the cast and the plans for it, they decided to go in a darker, more serious tone, like what the Dark Knight trilogy did and what Man of Steel has done. Which, I don't mind it, but when they started saying that they wanted to go younger with the cast, I was like, no, you don't go. These guys are supposed to be in their adult years, not fucking teenagers. But they cast the roles. They got Miles Teller as Mr. Fantastic, Kate Mara as Invisible Woman, Michael B. Jordan as Human Torch, and they got Jamie Bell as The Thing. And they cast Toby Kebbell as Dr. Doom, whose name was originally supposed to be Victor Domshev, I think I pronounced that right, but due to much backlash from fans, they changed his name in the reshoots to Victor Von Doom. And they cast, I think his name is Reggie Catley, or whatever, as Franklin Storm, the father of Sue and Johnny. And they cast, Tim Blake Nelson as Dr. Harvey Allen, originally named Dr. Harvey Elder, but again, they changed that name, and I'm guessing in the reshoots too. So yeah, and then when they first released the trailer, I was not impressed with it. Second trailer, still not impressed, and you get my point. I was not impressed with this movie with the trailer. And when news started coming out that this movie sucked, I was like, I knew it. I knew this movie was going to suck. And I was right, because the press about the reception and whatnot saying that the movie sucked. I was right, and here's what's funny about it, is that people are saying this movie is so bad that it makes the two previous movies look better by comparison. Now I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say that. I fucking told y'all so. I told you all the last two were better movies, but I digress. So anyway, what do I think of this new movie? Oh god. Okay, let me start out by saying this. This movie is so bad that it makes me want to watch Transcendence, Jumper, The Mask, the Foolish remake, and The Incredible Hulk. However, the cast is good. The four main actors, they do fine with their roles, but they are given nothing to work with. Okay, they are given literally nothing to work with, because this movie is just slow, boring, and meaningless. We get basically an hour of build-up to them getting their powers, and the origin, unlike in the comics, the Corman movie, the original cartoon, which I've never watched or read as far as comics, is them going to space and getting hit by a cosmic storm. It's just them going into a parallel universe and getting their powers that way. It's like, what was wrong with the original origin? I mean, granted, this is apparently supposed to be based on the Ultimate Run, but still, what's wrong with the original origin, goddammit? They go, Victor, Reed, Johnny, and Ben all go to Planet Zero, yes, without Sue, and they get their powers, and once they come back, basically this big shockwave goes through the lab and hits Sue, and that's how she gets her powers. Okay. Let's see. And as far as their powers, they don't even bother to try and correlate their powers. Like how their greatest strengths or their greatest weaknesses become their biggest strengths. Like the reason why Reed has the elasticity is because he stretches himself too thin. He tries to pile stuff on top of his life, whatnot. Sue because turn invisible because she feels like she's the only girl looking at all the guys, and because she's never noticed. Ben because he relies too much on brute strength, and Johnny because he's the freaking hothead. They don't even attempt to do that with this movie, like at all. So then, once they get their powers, Reed basically leaves the lab, and a year passes, and they're all split up doing stuff for the military, hoping to get this thing reversed. Then they eventually find Reed, go back to the planet Zero to hopefully find a cure. They find Victor with at least 15-20 minutes left of the movie. They fight Doom at the end, and the battle itself is weak. It's a weak battle. And then, movie over. It's like, what the heck happened? Oh, wait. That's right. Nothing happened. This movie is like, it's pointless. It's basically just set up for a sequel. I know what you're probably all going to say. Well, was it the 2000 movie just like that? True. But here's the thing is, the 2005 movie was a lot better than this one. Because it got the tone right. It actually treated these characters like a family. Because in this movie, they are basically apart for a vast majority of it. Even when at the end of the movie, when they fight Doom and they become a team, it doesn't feel earned. It literally doesn't, because they spend so much time apart in this movie. And then at the end of the movie, when they're trying to figure out their name, Johnny thinks of a stupid name, saying, "How about the Human Torch and two guys, a girl, and a rock and a thing that nobody wanted." It's like, why? I mean, at least in the original movies, when Chris Evans made fun of Michael Chiklis, at least was kind of earned and set up because they had all had this relationship prior to the events of the movie. So you could at least buy that Human Torch in the original movie was making fun of the Thing because they all knew each other from before. In this movie, they're all meeting for the first time. It's like, no, it's not earned. But yeah, this movie's freaking terrible. Now, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but casting Michael B. Jordan, even though he tries, God, does this whole cast try, but like I said, they have nothing to work with. Casting Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch, I think, was kind of pointless. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a racist asshole, but like what Filmmaster Adam J said, that he thought, and I feel the same way, that having Sue be the adoptive daughter, that they could have done a great storyline with Johnny feeling neglected by his own father for favoring Sue, the adopted daughter. But they kind of start with doing that, but then eventually it's dropped without explanation. Like, they start this good storyline, but it's dropped for no reason. Let's see, the effects on Human Torch, they look like crap. The Thing, oh my god, does he look terrible. If people say that putting Michael Chiklis in a suit was bad, check this thing out. No pun intended. This thing looks, oh my god, he looks terrible. And his whole line of saying at the end of the movie, his line when fighting Dr. Doom, he says, "It's clobbering time." It's like, oh no. Because in the beginning of the movie, when Reed and Ben are children, Ben is basically getting the crap beaten out of him by his older brother, who says that line. It's like, why would you have Ben say that after what we saw in the beginning of a freaking movie? It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh. I mean, at least when Ben said that line in the original movie, it was funny, because that line came from a prototype toy that Johnny was trying to market the team with, and that toy used it as a catchphrase, so it was funny there. Here, it's not. It's stupid. Oh god, I wish they would have tried better. And there are parts in this movie you can tell that they obviously reshot certain scenes, because some of the continuity doesn't seem right. Basically what happened was Josh Trank started filming this movie, and then eventually, like halfway through production, Fox stepped in and basically reshot most of the movie. So a lot of Trank's footage got cut. And oh my god, this movie's so terrible. I can't even say anymore. It's so bad. But like I said, some of the positive notes, if any, that the cast, as hard as they try, they have virtually nothing to work with. Ben is absent for a vast majority. No, not a vast majority, but for a good stretch. Same with Victor. The whole idea of them becoming a team at the end doesn't work because there was no build up to it. The whole thing about Reed, or not Reed, why do I keep saying Reed? The whole thing about Sue and Johnny being brother and sister, I'm sorry, they don't have good chemistry at all. I mean, at least I hate to be comparing this to the original movies, but at least with Evans and Alba, you actually could buy them as brother and sister, because they worked off each other very well, and they had good camaraderie and whatnot. But Jordan and Mara, they don't have it. They barely have any scenes together that you could buy. You can't even buy them as siblings. They barely have any scenes together. The relationship between Reed and Sue is virtually non-existent, and Victor is basically just this Sue Storm obsessed stalking asshole who gets jealous at the very sight of Reed and Sue talking. It's like, oh, and it's like he's supposed to be Dr. Doom, and not to mention, Doom's plan in this movie is basically just destroy Earth. When through the beginning of the movie, he was bitching and moaning how we as a nation are already destroying our planet already, and yet at the very end of the movie, after spending a year on Planet Zero, he comes back to say that the Earth has no reason to be saved, that humanity had their chance, blah blah blah, and starts to destroy the Earth. But I couldn't care less about that plan, because we spent so much time of this movie in the freaking bunker or whatever. We spent so much time of the movie in the bunker and on Planet Zero that when the end of the movie, the climax, came when Dr. Doom started destroying Earth, I didn't give a care, because we never seen the world. So I really don't want to keep talking about this movie. I hate this movie. I think it's really stupid. This movie was made for the same reason the Amazing Spider-Man movies were made, solely to keep the rights. Like literally, solely to keep the rights. And oh god. And that's not good business. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore, so I guess I'm just going to say see you later, and please don't watch this movie. It's boring. Bye.